Here, it's really important to know that we're starting with two lines. Lines, as opposed to quadratics, parabolas, will have x and y to the first power, which is what we have here. So even though they don't look like lines, they really are. And what we're really talking about here is the idea of the number of solutions of two lines. Now, when you have two lines, there are three ways they can interact. They can hit once, one solution. They can hit never, no solutions. Or they can hit all the time if it turns out they have the same address, the same slope and y-intercept. And that's the idea of infinite solutions. And all three of these scenarios have ramifications for slope and y-intercept. For one solution, the slopes must be different. That's what's making them hit. They're not tilted the same way. So at some point, they're going to hit. For no solutions, the slopes will be the same, but the y-intercepts will be different. Because that's what it means to be parallel. They're tilted the same way, but they're not the same line. And for infinite solutions, they are the same line. So they'll have the slope and the y-intercept both the same. So in this question, we have two lines because all the x's and y's are to the first power, and we're being told that there's no solution. So that's this scenario. And if we can find out what the slopes are, by definition, they're the same, so we can then set them equal. So let's start doing some of the work toward getting the slopes for each of these lines. So for this top one here, we've got 8 and 7 in our denominators. So the lowest common multiple of 8 and 7 is, of course, 56. And you can multiply by the lowest common multiple to cancel all your unwanted denominators. So 56 times 7/8, you can think of that as the 8 and the 56 canceling, leaving you with 1 on the bottom and 7 on the top. And 7 times 7 is 49. So right there, we have 49y. Distributing here, that's 56 times 5/8. Think of that as the 8 on the bottom canceling here, leaving you at 7. So we're canceling an 8 from the top and 8 on the bottom. That leaves us 1 on the bottom and 7 on the top. So that 7 gets multiplied by the 5. Let's actually illustrate this. It's too much going on to just kind of talk about it. But what we're doing right now is we're multiplying 56 by negative 5/8. And really, this is 56 on the top because any number is itself over 1. So if we divide the top and the bottom both by 8, that would leave us with 1 and 7. And multiplying this out, we'll get 7 times negative 5, we'll get negative 35x. Then we have our equal sign. Then distributing here, we have 4/7 times 56. And any number is itself over 1, so 4/7 times 56 over 1. If we cancel a 7, so in other words, we're dividing the top and the bottom by 7, we'll get 1 on the bottom and 8 on the top. 8 times 4 is 32. So here we have 32. And for the last piece, we have 56 over 1 times negative 7/8. That's this distribution right here. So divide by 8 here and here, we'll have 1 and 7. 7 times negative 7 is negative 49, and there's also a y there. So we've simplified the top equation quite a bit. Now, let's go ahead and combine our like terms. So remember, what we're trying to do is get this into a y equals mx plus b format so that we can see the equation of this line. So let's move all our y's together, plus 49y, plus 49y. And let's get this x out of here, plus 35x, plus 35x. So right now, we've got 98y, this canceled, equals 35x plus 32 with this canceling. And now we can divide by 98, and we'll have y equals 35 over 98x plus 32 over 98, which I'll just simplify in my mind, 16 over 49. Now we have to do the same simplification to the bottom line. This one is a little easier because it's got 4, 4, and 4. We don't need to find the lowest common multiple. You can just multiply by 4. So right here, 5 over 4 times 4 is simply 5. Right here, 7 over 4 times 4 is 7. Now we're multiplying by 4 here, and we'll have 4py. And we're multiplying by 4 here. 15 over 4 times 4. The 4's cancel, and you get 15. So now, just like before, we're trying to get the y all by itself. So we can take away 15 from both sides. And we have 4py equals 5x minus 8 after that canceled. And we, of course, reverse the left and the right-hand side because what we're trying to do is get y equals mx plus b. Now, we can divide by 4p all throughout, and we have y equals 5 over 4p times x minus 8 over 4p. Better said, that's 2 over p. So now, taking it back to the beginning, with the 3 different ways 2 lines can interact, if there's no solution, it means that the slopes are the same. And our slopes right now, these are both in y equals mx plus b format. So our m's are 35 over 98 and 5 over 4p. So those, by definition, are equal. And let's go ahead and set them equal. 35 over 98 equals 5 over 4p. And one thing we can do here is cross multiply. We can say 35 times 4p equals 5 times 98. Multiplying that out, 35 times 4 is 140. And 5 times 98 is 490. Now we can divide both sides by 140. What's 490 divided by 140? And that's 3.5. And that is our answer for P.